Alright everyone, today I want to talk about Hailey and why her farming method has been so widely hated, but also that it more importantly highlights a bigger problem. Now, if you aren't familiar, Hailey requires a total of 144 fragments to build. You can get 12 a day from invasion dungeons, and you can get them from dungeons at a drop rate of, allegedly, 50% per run per fragment. All in all, it doesn't sound that bad, right? Of course, not only is this post-drop rate buff, but you also have to consider that most of the dungeons take between 4 and 6 minutes, even on a good bunny build. But even then, it really isn't all that bad if it wasn't for one other major issue. Hailey is, practically speaking, the entirety of the Season 1 content at this point. People want to play the new content, but now the main content, the new character, is effectively time-gated from access unless you open up your wallet and pay $18. And I think this is the real reason the Hailey farm is so hated. Again, the fact that she is essentially time-gated. Now, moving on to the other issue I mentioned, in short, the method of farming for Hailey tells me that the devs are listening to, but not necessarily understanding, community backlash surrounding RNG. The problem stems from the fact that up until Hailey, there was absolutely no way for players to mitigate RNG not favoring them in the first Ascendant. A significant part of the enjoyment players find in loot games is that dopamine hit you get when you get the drop you wanted, but past a certain point, you from being happy you got the item to relieved you got the item. Most games tend to try to mitigate these issues in one way or the other, whether that be to guarantee a drop through some kind of pity system, or through trading, or just simply having high enough drop rates to make it unnecessary to begin with. Most games have something along those lines. The first Ascendant, of course, has no system like this. Hailey is the dev's first attempt at introducing a method of RNG mitigation into the game, but I don't think it's one players would like long term. Partially because people's first impressions have already been soured by the poor initial implementation, partially because I think most people enjoy the gambling aspect of loot in games like this. RNG loot is a form of gambling, the currency is time instead of money, the payoff is the item you wanted. Hailey's farming method is a bad method of RNG mitigation because of how it's tied to daily limited activity, but also because it leaves no opportunity for the player to get lucky. I'm sure some people will absolutely prefer the slow but certain method, but I think most will not. A far better system would be a hybrid of the two systems. Something along the lines of being able to get parts as drops, but also getting some sort of generic fragment that you can use to get a part, right? Or they could always just add trading to the game. Now, as always, before we wrap up, a quick thank you to the members. As always, your support means a lot to me, and if you're not able to support me monetarily, just watching, liking, subscribing, all those things help the channel a lot, and I really appreciate your support. It allows me to do this more, and hopefully one day I can turn this into a proper full-time job that pays all the bills. Anyways, as always, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you in the next one.
진리에 지휘관이 악성 종양을 온몸에 들고 있어요. 성격대 드론의 탑재는 역대 레벨 방어기가 필요해요.